All right, Righteous Gemstones, season 4, episode 8. I thought this was the last episode because I swear on HBO Max that it said that the new episode was the last one and it was the series finale. So I was kind of confused. It was from the way the episode ends. I was like, that's it. But I saw there's one more episode. So look at that. I must have just been hallucinating or something. I don't know what I saw, but so episode 8, On Your Belly You Shall Go. This is going to be a spoiler review, of course. So the episode starts with BJ and he's on a walk with Judy. Well, she's pushing because he's in a wheelchair still. And they're with Dr. Watson. BJ tells Judy that he needs to show her something. And of course, her mind immediately goes to a sex thing. So she's like, if it's some kind of sex thing you're going to show me, I don't want to see it, BJ. But he's like, Judy, just step back and watch. And he pulls himself up out of the wheelchair. He's standing. He starts walking towards Judy. And then he falls over, but he pulls himself back up. He makes it to Judy. He hugs her before he steps back and he's like, I am healed. BJ, he's out of the wheelchair now. He can walk. After that, the intro music starts. And then it cuts to Jesse and Amber. They're on the couch. They're watching the news from the Top Christ Following Man event. And the footage they're showing is Simkin crashing out. He's fighting off security guards and stuff. And he's like, we're letting homosexuals into the church. You know, he's just doing his bigot rant and Jesse's having a laugh. And Jesse says to Amber, he's like, you know, I deserve some of the credit for, you know, pushing him to go. And Amber goes, well, it's funny because Judy said the same thing. And he's like, well, I did more. So it sucks I'm not gonna get the recognition that I deserve. And Amber's like, you know, there's more of a dignity to not getting any recognition and just knowing that you did help. But you don't need the recognition to feel that. And he takes it to heart and he's like, you know, that's actually pretty sweet. You know, just doing his thing. And then the next scene, the whole family's at lunch after church. And Pontius asks if Dr. Watson can smoke a cigarette, which of course, baby Billy pulls out a pack of menthols and they give him a cigarette. They light it and he starts smoking. Everyone's like, oh my God, that's so funny. You know, this monkey smoking a cigarette. And then the monkey like hops on the counter and starts like jerking off and shit. And it's just like classic Danny McBride stuff, you know. Every one of his shows and movies, there's just always penis stuff going on, whether it's humans or animals, which is fucked up. But and Eli, he's going through a tough time. He cut his long hair off. He's got it short now. He's depressed, you know, after his fight with Lori. And, you know, when they're at dinner, you can tell he's just sitting there just like, people are like asking him questions and he's just like, you know, off in another place. And of course the kids, they start bringing up Lori again, like, you don't need that bitch and, you know, shit like that. And, you know, Eli's like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. And then in the next scene, Corey is sitting with Lori and they're talking about his birthday that's coming up. He says that he invited the Gemstones. Lori said that she doesn't really care that the Gemstones are coming. And then Corey brings up that he invited his dad, Cobb, who's played by Michael Rooker. She doesn't really agree with that, of course, considering their history and just the way he acts. And she's right, considering what happens at the birthday party. Because he does, the Gemstones don't show up, but Cobb shows up, brings him a custom made knife, gives it to him and starts talking about Eli, you know, like, what's up with your mom and Eli, and, you know, like, Eli, blah, blah, blah. And then Corey, who's played by Sean William Scott of Stifler fame, he's like, no, dude, drop it, get over it. Cobb gets mad, gets in his face, slaps him. Cobb walks off, goes to the kitchen where Lori is. He starts intimidating her next as well, being like, you know, it'd be a shame if something happened to Eli like Big Dick Mitch. And she's like, what are you trying to say? And he's like, you know, maybe, you know, it'd be a shame if he went missing. You never seen him again, you know? And as we see later in the episode, he has Mitch locked up in his basement at the Gator Park, and he's got him trapped as a sex slave, which is fucked up. I mean, again, this show is just fucked up all around. Next scene, she's taking a bath. The scene very reminiscent of like Bride of Chucky, when Chucky's pushing the TV cart to like electrocute her. She's just chilling in the bathtub. Dr. Watson pops up. He's holding a hair dryer that's plugged in. And she's like, Dr. Watson, don't you fucking kill me. Luckily, BJ, he like rings the bell and Dr. Watson runs off. And she goes out there. She manages to convince BJ that they need to get rid of Dr. Watson, saying that he probably would be happier in a home where he can help somebody who's in need and whatnot. But obviously she's doing it just because she hates Dr. Watson. And if, you know, there was a monkey trying to kill you in the house, you know, you probably want to get rid of it, you know? Yeah, Judy does hate Dr. Watson, but after she gives him up, and the handler tells her that Dr. Watson's mom died when he was a a little baby monkey. And of course, Judy can relate, so she finds some compassion for it. And I'm guessing next episode, she's probably gonna go get him back or something like that. And then Lori shows up to the three main kids. They have their like little throne room, which is just like over the top, and they're just sitting there, like their little council. And Lori's begging them to let her talk to Eli because she's worried about him, considering Cobb. He's gonna do something, sure he knows it. And at first they decline, and she kind of tells these cute little stories to each of them about how when they were younger, these things that happened in their lives influenced Lori and their mom to write these songs about them. Like she said, these 3 individual songs, and she won them over with that because it was some touching stories. Then when they were younger and their mom writing songs for them. And baby Billy and Eli were out at lunch, and Lori had been calling them and he had not been responding. So that's also why she ends up going to the kids to ask, because he's been ignoring her. But also after baby Billy and Eli have lunch, they're getting in the car and they both get hit with trank darts. And you know who that was. And then they wake up in a basement in the Gator Park, and they're tied up, and they see a dude who's in the corner. He's butt ass naked. He's got chains all on him, and that's Big Dick Mitch. He's got him, as I said earlier, he's got him locked up down there. That's even worse than I had thought, because I thought he had just been feeding Lori's like exes to the alligators. But maybe some of them have, but Big Dick Mitch, he's just been keeping them for now. And Cobb basically says to baby Billy and Eli that he's going to do the same thing to Mitch, to them. And before he can do anything, Cobb gets a call on the radio from one of the employees saying that the cops are there. So he goes to deal with that. And he's like giving him a tour and stuff, giving him popcorn and winning him over. And he's like, yeah, my ex-wife's crazy, and I can't believe she's called y'all over here. And one of the cops is like, yeah, I'm going through a divorce right now as well, and God, bitch. So he's like basically won them over. But while that's happening, Eli turns over and baby Billy manages to untie his rope, and then they escape. And while the cops are about to leave, they just see Mitch running naked with his chains through the parking lot. And before they can even do anything, Cobb just blasts them in the head. So he kills the 2 cops. Goes after Eli and Billy. They run through the Gator Park until they end up to like the feeding area. Cobb's gun runs out of bullets, and then him and Eli are like tussling. Baby Billy's trying to hype himself up to go out there. He's got some cocaine. He's like, Lord, please bless this cocaine. He takes it. He runs up to go, take out Cobb, but Cobb just turns around and just decks him in the face, and he just falls over. So that was for nothing. But then Corey shows up out of nowhere, just falls out the sky and stabs him with the knife that he gave him. And Cobb turns around. He's like, into this, he's like, oh, is that the knife I gave you? He's like, that's good craftsmanship. And he like falls back, and of course he throws him into the water, rings the dinner bell. The alligator comes, eats him, and then the rest of the police and the ambulances show up, and all the family shows up, and they're all embracing, and that's where the episode ends. So I'm glad, yeah, because I thought somewhere I saw that this was the last episode, and I was like, that was a really abrupt ending. But it's not the last episode, thank God. So, I mean, I really enjoy the show. When they introduced Cobb and he worked at an alligator park, you already knew what the fuck was going to happen. But still entertaining to watch. Still enjoy the show. It's funny. Like I said, I'm glad we do get one more episode. Yeah, have you seen the newest episode? Have you been enjoying this season? Do you like the show? Do you not like the show? Let me know. Hit the like button, subscribe. Peace.